Notes are written material and so forth, which is taken by shorthand and vice versa. And it is used to write stuff down and to take special instructions and to add those instructions. And it can also be used on a media station or vice versa, like postings and so forth. And this is also sometimes used through instructions and writing up instructions and to that point. But taking note is very hard to do sometimes when not sitting down and writing or drafting up a plan or anything. But when writing stuff down and putting stuff on paper, it is a lot harder and a lot more sophisticated to do that. And even today, it can be a really tough challenge throughout what is being given or what hasn't been given. But under this instructional video under YouTube, it is made very easy. There are easy ways to take notes and to put the notes through any type of media network, including LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the others, and all the other information sites that are out there. And we sometimes miss the fact that we can do so many other things that no one else has ever thought of throughout utilizing the computer and technology and building game plans and plan of action and so forth. But as I understand this, it is what we do with it and how we utilize that throughout this video and throughout what I am writing down and the instructions that go with it. But computers and technology has come a long way since 2010 concerning the death and the passing of my sister and throughout that. But we generally are still in our infancy concerning the idea of learning how to take note and learning how to write stuff down and learning how to create that. But it's a lot harder, and it's been that for quite a few years. But when we build and we create and we utilize and we make those resources more prevalent, it will be a lot easier for whatever will be able to create that and to build and to be resourceful and everything else. But people sometimes are so busy in the hustle and bustle world that they don't take note and they don't plan stuff out and so forth. So it's easy to say to put most of that stuff on a note on a desk or throw it in the garbage can. But it's easier to write it down and to put it into a file and to make sure that it's written either on email or Gmail, which is the easiest way to take note and to document those notes and make it a whole lot easier instead of having it as a piece of paper on the desk or vice versa. But sometimes written material is easier just to do the instructions and so forth. And taking note is the easiest way to do stuff, and sometimes it's easier said than done if you go to an app or technology, because we're still in our infancy and we still have so much more to learn and so much more growing to do. And that is a part of the situation, but taking references and having references and creating and building references and making sure that everything else is covered is what taking note is, and figuring out ways to consider that throughout any type of reason or understanding. But we sometimes think that it's going to solve the problem if we do nothing or we sit by and do nothing. But it is also putting in an effort and creating an effort and writing it down and putting it on note and finding other answers and creating other answers for all the issues that we have, and before the care provider or the case manager or somebody comes along and tries to solve that problem without having the resources to do it. And being able to create more resources is most important, and most of all important, no matter what it is in life. And whether the person is disabled or whether the person is either way, it is most important to have a framework created to address anything that is considered, most of all. And that's what it is concerning myself or anybody that has any type of challenge or inability of doing something, but to turn those disadvantages into advantages and to turn adversity into diversity, most of all, as written here today and written within the future as well, per se. That concludes this information and so forth.